In 1973, Wendell Scott went out on the limb, borrowed money, and bought what he said was the best race car he ever had to show the world what he could do on a super speedway, and brought it to Talladega. But it was not to be his day. Someone blew an engine coming off of turn 2 here, and when the dust and the smoke had all settled, Wendell was right in the middle of it. He had gotten his car down on the grassed area, which he thought would be the safety zone, but it didn't work out for him. Steve Burns picks up the story from there.
Wendell Scott thought he had missed the worst part of the accident. His car was heading down here into the grass. He thought it would be a safe haven. But as his car continued to roll, a huge dust cloud had formed in turn 2. Out of that dust cloud emerged Lenny Pond. Lenny Pond hit Wendell Scott. Wendell Scott's career ended right here on the backstretch of Talladega.
The car got hurt in at Talladega. This is a picture of the car. That was the best car I ever drove, but I didn't really get a chance to do my best with it because it was on the 8th or 9th lap when they had this real bad wreck, and I was right in the middle of them. And it tore the car all to pieces.
That's amazing. So that's the one you got hurt in?
That's the one I got hurt in right there.
Well, of course, that's the kind of memories you don't really want to have, is it?
I don't like to think of the financial part of it. Because I got hurt pretty bad, you know. Broke my leg in 7 places. Tore his arm all to pieces.
How fast were you running when that happened?
Well, I was getting along pretty good, you know. When I first got there, the car didn't run too good, and Glenn Wood and them told me if they didn't have no trouble, that they were gonna tune my motor for me, and they did. And I didn't get back in it after they tuned it up until this Sunday when the race started. And that thing felt like somebody shooting me out of a slingshot.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was rolling. I had the car that I had qualified back there with, I had left all of them. I was head toward the front. And when Wendell Scott blew that engine, it screwed all over the track. And I got in it. But what happened, this fender right here, it still got yellow paint on the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, Lenny Pond clipped me in the rear and spun me. And that's what caused me the wreck. It's right on that end, hit me right on that end and spun me around. And when he did, the car came right into me.
Well, when they start flipping at that speed,
yeah, that was a terrible wreck.
Tough roll, wasn't it?
But Arrington run to me, and he went to run back to his car. Somebody hit his car before he got back to it and tore it off, Peter. And Larry, now what was the guy got killed at it the same year?
Larry Smith?
Not Larry. Yeah, Larry Smith.
Yeah.
He was driving for a guy with a green one.
Yeah.
A mechanic. Well, he came to me, he thought I was dead. But I didn't know I ever got knocked out.
Really?
I didn't know I got knocked out. When I knew anything, I was shaking my head. And when they tried to get me out of the car, I was hurting so bad. And but my leg was broke off.
How long did you have to stay in the hospital?
32 days.
Did the wreck at Talladega, did that pretty well end your career in Grand National racing?
Well, yes, it really did. I went right much in debt because I hadn't been doing good. And my boys told me either get in the race or get out of the race. So I borrowed money on my property and bought me a real good car and got it 12-piece first time.
And then, of course, you had some physical injuries as well, too. So.
Yeah. But it took me 9 years to pay for that car.
Is that right? Boy, you got a lot of memories to think back over and things. I guess you'd say, well, boy, I wish I hadn't done that.
No, I'd do it all over again.
You would?
I'd do it different, though.
Yeah. What would you do different?
Well, I wouldn't try to make all the races. And when I go to a race, I'd run as hard as I could, as long as I could.
People perhaps didn't understand that you had to run the way that you did most of the time because you didn't have the backing. You had to try to make a living at it.
Yeah. The Sunday I won the race in Jacksonville, I needed $900 and some dollars real bad. I left home, I didn't think I had a chance. And I won $1,100 this Sunday.
The good Lord took care of it.
Yeah.
Wendell Scott would run but one more Grand National race, a 12th place finish at Charlotte. He was out of money. While at Wendell's garage, it was hard not to notice the way he kept reaching for his race car as he talked, the rusty sheet metal his most trusted and loyal friend. Wendell said that as long as he had one wheel on the track, he was in total control. The competitive fires still burn brightly in his steely eyes. He'll race every now and then on the local tracks in the hills of Virginia. His son's timing his every practice lap, watching how the old man dives into the corners, fiercely proud of the man they call Daddy. To watch Wendell walk among his old race cars is to watch a man admire his treasures. His garage is his real scrapbook. Every car, every loose part with a memory solidly attached. Every one of these old racers with a history all its own, for they once glided around racetracks under the silky touch of the man who beat the odds every time the green flag fell. But it's back at the racetrack where you realize that he is at home, in his element, and he is accorded the respect and admiration that a man of his stature and dignity requires, the status befitting a true champion.
Thank you very much, sir.